Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. That's a great quote by Oscar Wilde. In this video, I'll take you on my very personal journey of how I came to be who I am through self-analysis and the law of attraction. Maybe it'll inspire a journey of your own. Sometimes the journey of self-analysis isn't pleasant, especially when you run into your dark side. I do have one. When I started, I wouldn't have considered myself a negative person, but compared to who I am today, there's no question. I truly was. My mindset is totally different now. Self-analysis is an ongoing journey. You have to be patient, allow yourself some compassion, and be kind as you discover new things about yourself. I believe we are who we are mostly due to our childhood. At the beginning of my journey, I found dwelling in the past didn't change anything and only led to anxiety for me. My past is what made me who I am, and I knew I had to go there. But it's important not to be consumed by your past. Visiting your past is part of the self-analysis process. Living there is not. I love animated movies, and one in particular called Ratatouille. The character Chef Gusteau says, "If you focus on what you left behind, you will never see what lies ahead." That really stuck with me. I thought it was pretty profound for a cartoon. I knew I had to approach my past differently. By looking at it as an observer, my perspective totally changed. I have no idea if this is how it works in professional therapy, but it worked for me. I was able to see why things affected me the way they do to create who I am and the beliefs I still have to this day that I haven't been able to overcome. My weight and my view of money. What have you learned throughout your life that keeps telling you something that really doesn't serve you well? I have an older sister and a younger brother. I'm a classic middle child. Most of my parents' focus was on them, so I didn't get much attention. I mean, I did, but not as much as they did, which I feel is probably why I don't require much today, and possibly a reason for my extra weight. In my first video, I mentioned that my first diet was at 12 years old. Food became a soothing resource for me in times of stress and boredom. Kids can be really cruel, and I was too embarrassed to ever say anything to anyone about the teasing. Aside from being teased, I grew up in a safe urban neighborhood, had friends, and played outside. My childhood was pretty good, but I actually had no idea how good it was. Comparing my childhood to what I've learned from others, mostly from men while dating, I learned most of the men I had met had a pretty rough childhood. I was really surprised. It never occurred to me before how much a person's childhood affects their adult life. I believe that's why so many men and women are broken today. It's because of what they learned during childhood. My parents weren't overly loving with hugs, affectionate words, or displays of affection with us, but they cared for us and they respected each other. They never argued or fought, and that's what I learned. My parents weren't educated. I think my dad was taken out of school when he was in the 3rd grade so he could go work on the family farm. My mom managed to make it through high school. We lived upstairs in a 2-family home that my grandmother owned. We didn't have much. At one point, my dad worked 2 jobs and my mom worked as well. They scrambled to save money for my brother's college education, but eventually they still needed to get financial assistance to help him finish. When my sister and I asked why we couldn't go to school or to college, we were told, "You'll get married and your husband will take care of you." That was the mentality back then. However, I realized later they weren't able to save enough for my brother to go, so how are we going to go, my sister and I? After I truly understood that they were doing the best they could based on how they were raised, I realized it was all they knew, and I was finally able to let go of the resentment I felt. That was a big one for me. Okay, well, that's enough of my past. Let's skip forward about 40 years. Sometime in my 50s, my niece introduced me to a movie called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It's a basic introduction to the law of attraction. I say basic introduction because the movie only scratches the surface. Honestly, the movie wasn't enough really to make me a believer out of me, and that's why I researched it further. So, what is the law of attraction? This is how I've interpreted it and what I believe it to be. It's the belief that thoughts become reality. What you focus on is what you draw into your life. If your thoughts center mostly around the negative in your life, like negative experiences or people, you'll draw more of those types of people and experiences into your life. However, if you change your thoughts to positive, you'll attract positive people and experiences into your life. That movie really inspired the beginning of my transition, or my transformation, and my desire to learn more about the law of attraction, and myself. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching. This video is not sponsored by them. I have no affiliation, but it's available on YouTube. I've added a link in the description for you if you're interested. I learned a lot on my journey of self-awareness. Read a lot of self-help books along the way, but it really didn't start to unfold for me until after my divorce. My focus was primarily on gratitude journaling and meditation. Meditation is a great way to start your journey. It is wherever you can reflect without distraction and whatever helps you find relaxation and peace. Sometimes just mindlessly staring out my window at the trees helps me relax. It can be the simplest action that'll help your mind wander and your thoughts drift. A lot of ideas pop into my head during these times, and when that happens, I run with them because I feel it happens for a reason. Something is telling me, don't hesitate, just do it. I used to talk myself out of these ideas, but I don't anymore. The law of attraction taught me gratitude and detachment. Even though the first year after my divorce was messy, I worked on focusing on the outcome and being grateful for what I had right then and was able to accomplish on my own. I was, and I still am, extremely grateful I was able to find a place to live that was within my budget. I absolutely love it here. My additional research into the law of attraction helped me understand that by fully feeling from deep within, I create everything that happens in my life. It all fell into place, and I did it all on my own. Detachment is also something I learned that helped me tremendously in the last 2 years. I believe introverted people find it easier to become detached to people and things. I mean, I have no idea if that's true, but it works well for me as a person who likes their solitude. It helped me reduce my attachment and let go of things that just didn't serve me. If you'd like to learn more about detachment, please check the description. The law of attraction truly has changed my outlook and my world. Right now, I'm happier than I've ever been. It has brought me to a home that I love, to the people I want in my life and who want me in theirs. It has brought me to this point of creating these videos. It's fun, challenges me, and something I never thought I'd do. Honestly, I hadn't even considered having a channel before the idea popped in my head back in November. Please take the time to watch the movie. It's real. You'll be amazed. If you find any value in this content, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel be seen by other people. It really gets it out there. If you'd like to join my email list or support my channel in any ways, please check the links in the description. Thanks for watching and sprinkle some sparkle. Bye.